Mike, Sports Vibes. Thank you for vibing with the bull. I'm so excited to talk about this.
Mike Sports Vibes.
Woo.
Thank you for vibing with
I'm
me.
so excited to talk about this. Who's in your top 5 quarterback list? This is my opinion. This is who's in my personal top 5 quarterback list. And I have a question for y'all too. A second question. Is Kirk Cousins a top 5 quarterback? And I'm only asking that because if you can't tell already, I'm a diehard Minnesota Viking fan. I bleed purple. Let's go. Skol, baby. Skol. But I'm going to keep it all the way at 100. And I'll answer the question at the end of this video if Kirk Cousins is a top 5 quarterback. I think y'all know where I'm going with this. And I'm keeping it all the way 100. As a Minnesota Viking fan, that Netflix series isn't going to get me. But let's get to the point. Number 1 on the list, and he really doesn't need an introduction. His name is Patrick Mahomes, the myth, the legend. Patrick Mahomes, 2 Super Bowls in 6 years. I believe been in the NFL for 6 years. And he already has 6 Super Bowls. It's a dang on shame that he wasn't drafted by the Minnesota Vikings. It's a dang on shame. But let me get to the rest of the stuff. Let me talk about this because he absolutely balled out for the 2022 season. He was, of course, he won this dang on Super Bowl. But the thing that makes Patrick Mahomes so great, he lost his number 1 wide receiver, Tyreek Hill. You know what I mean? You can say what you want about Tyreek Hill, but that man's a beast. But even though he lost Tyreek Hill, it's like he didn't lose a step. Patrick Mahomes did not lose a step, even though he lost his best wide receiver. And yes, Travis Kelce is that guy. He's that bull. He's a tight end, though. And he is that guy. He's debatably the best tight end in the NFL right now with over 1,300 receiving yards and 12 touchdowns. He is that bull. I'm not hating, but dang, you lost your best wide receiver and you're still putting up numbers like you haven't missed a step. Patrick Mahomes throwing off his backhand and just making just all the throws you can possibly think of, playing through injury, the toughness, the mental toughness that he has. The man is simply amazing. He's great. He's the best quarterback I have seen, the best dual threat quarterback I have ever seen. That's just my opinion. But for the 2022 season, his QBR, he's number 1 in QBR at 77.6, threw for 5,250 yards, 41 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. And then you got to add into, because he's a dual threat quarterback, you know what I mean? He's a dual threat. So the man also rushed for 358 yards, 5.9 per carry, and 4 touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes is number 1, and if there's a debate that he is not number 1, I would love to hear it in the comments below. Let me know your top 5, because my number 1 is Patrick Mahomes. There's no if, buts about it. That's just my opinion. Now, number 2, y'all, and this one hurts me the most, because we didn't draft him either. This hurts me the most, Minnesota Viking fans, and I know you're going to fill me with this one. This is the number 2. Let's go Vikings. But he's on the dang on Eagles, and I can't stand it. I was talking to an Eagle fan, and he tried to tell me that he's not good when they first drafted him. I said, you didn't watch him in college, my brother. Now, in my opinion, this is my top 5. He's the number 2 quarterback in the NFL. This is just my opinion. I watch how his leadership ability, man, playing through injury and just proving everybody wrong, being a second-round pick, just doing the dang on thing, and what he has accomplished is unbelievable. His QBR is 66.4. He's 4th in QBR, 22 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. He threw for 3,701 yards. And this is the one thing about him that is simply amazing. And this is what I mean by dual threat. There's a chance that these quarterbacks can get hurt, but if you could be a dual threat and get down and not get hurt, it just puts your game to another level. The common denominator of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now are dual threat quarterbacks. I'm not saying be on the level of Lamar Jackson, or Michael Vick, but if you have a little bit when it comes to your wheels, your legs, and buying yourself more time, that little bit can do a lot. Looking downfield and getting to those top wide receivers that you have because he has two great wide receivers. But I'm gonna get to that. But let me get to this first. He rushed for over 700. He rushed for 760 yards, 4.6 per carry, 13 rushing touchdowns, and his longest run for the season, Jalen Hurts. I'm talking about Jalen Hurts, the number 2 on my list. His longest was 42 yards. He is simply amazing. Shout out to Jalen Hurts, man. Shout out to Patrick Mahomes for being number 1. Jalen Hurts is my number 2. I have no hate, even though he is an Eagle. But he's throwing to debatably the best wide receiver tandem combination. Even accounts below who's a better 1-2 punch when it comes to wide receivers because A.J. Brown's a freaking beast. And then you got Devontae Smith, a freaking beast. I mean, my gosh. You know what I'm saying? So he definitely has weapons on the outside. So shout out to the Eagles for drafting Jalen Hurts. He's number 2. Oh, my gosh. Why couldn't we draft him? Why can't the Vikings do something that I want them to do for once? And that's, I'm not going to get into it because Kirk Cousins might be in the top 5 at quarterback. So I'm only at 2 right now, y'all. But number 3 on my list, y'all. And this is number 3. This is number 3, and he's a young stud. By the way, Patrick Mahomes is only 27 years old. Jalen Hurts, I believe, how old is Jalen Hurts? I know Jalen Hurts he's young too. He got to be probably like he's in his mid-20s or probably early 20s. Joe Burrow's only 26 years old. He's number 3 on my list. He threw for 35 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. His QBR actually surprised me. It's kind of lower than I was expecting. It is 58.7. He's 10th overall in QBR. What else? Rushed for 257 yards, 5 touchdowns, and his longest run was 23 yards. Joe Burrow is a stud. Joe Burrow is very good. He has, like I said, he has wide receivers for days. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and then Tyler Boyd is like the good third option. I mean, he's no slouch. Tyler Boyd, you can say what you want about him. He's no slouch. He's pretty good. And T. Higgins, we all know about him, and Jamar Chase. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have a very, very explosive offense, and sky's the limit for that team. And Joe Burrow is only 26 years old. And I see the greatness. I see that it factor. All the quarterbacks that I just named, they have that it factor. Patrick Mahomes has that it factor. Jalen Hurts has that it factor. Joe Burrow has that it factor. It's just simply amazing. These young quarterbacks are just dominating the NFL right now. But Joe Burrow is definitely number 3. But number 4 on my list, y'all. And people might think I'm crazy for this. But I'm not crazy. I just got to talk my talk. And this is the one guy that with the proper coaching, offensive coordinator, can take steps and become a star wide receiver. And his name is Josh Allen from the Buffalo Bills. He's only 27 years old. And he's very good. Very good. For his passing yards, he threw for 4,283 yards. 35 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. QBR, he is second when it comes to QBR at 71.4. I'm really surprised about that because it seemed like he threw a lot of interceptions, but he didn't throw as many as I thought he did. But the one thing that I was kind of surprised, not really surprised, but kind of surprised, Josh Allen, because he's another dual threat quarterback, right? He rushed for 700 rushing yards, 762 yards, 6.1 per carry. 7 touchdowns, and his longest was 44 yards, man. Like, simply amazing. And you know what makes it really cool? Well, not really cool, because I like Stephon Diggs. He has Stephon Diggs to throw the ball to. Stephon Diggs, you can say what you want about the antics that he was doing when he was with the mighty Minnesota Vikings, but he's still one of the top wide receivers in the game today. And if you take Stephon Diggs off this team, Josh Allen would not be doing what he's doing. That's just my opinion. He ain't Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes can just do anything, it seems like, when it comes to the NFL right now. He's just on top of the game right now. You know what I'm saying? But Josh Allen is definitely a baller, and give the man some respect. Give the man some respect. Give the man some respect. But it's number 1 for him. I'm just going to go over my top 4 so far. Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, and Josh Allen. Number 5. Is it Kirk Cousins? Is it Kirk Cousins? Is he in my top 5 at quarterbacks? I'm going to tell you right now.
Nah, bruh. Nah.
And I don't mean to laugh, and I'm not hating. I'm just stating facts. As a Minnesota Viking fan, I wish I can say that Kirk Cousins is in the top 5. In my top 5 personally. But he's just not. He's not that guy. He doesn't have that it factor. We shall see in 2023 season, but he is not in my top 5. The number 5 spot goes with this quarterback right here, right? And this quarterback right here, if it wasn't for his injuries, he would be probably top 3, top 2, debatably. Because he's simply a baller. He has won MVP. He's an underrated thrower. And now he got a little bit of weapons now. And this guy, his name is Lamar Jackson. And I'm kind of mad too because he should have been our quarterback too. All these quarterbacks should have been a Minnesota Viking. They should be a Minnesota Viking. But we're not drafting the way we need to draft. But we're going to talk about that another day. But this quarterback, Lamar Jackson, his QBR is 59.1. He's 9th. You know what I'm saying? He's 9th when it comes to his QBR. 17 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. We all know he can scramble. We all know he can run. His rushing yards, 764 yards, 6.8 per carry. 3 touchdowns. His longest run was 79 freaking yards. Oh, my goodness. And he just got weapons. And, no, by the way, he threw for 2,242 yards. But, by the way, y'all, he only played for 12 games because he got hurt. So, if he played all 17 games, these numbers will be way better than what it is right now. You're probably like 17 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. The guy only played 12 games and produced this. So just imagine if he played all the games. And then on top of all that, he finally got some offensive. We had some wide receivers now. Odell Beckham Jr. is now on the Ravens. Zay Flowers, I think he's an underrated pickup for them in the draft. Zay Flowers is a freaking baller. And the Raven fans, y'all should be very happy that y'all drafted Zay Flowers. So Odell Beckham Jr., we got to see what he has left. I think he can still do it. If he's healthy, he's still a great I don't know about great, but he's still a good, solid wide receiver. But Zay Flowers is that guy, y'all. Y'all got to, when y'all get a chance, tune into the Ravens, man. All the people, tune into the Ravens and watch Zay Flowers do his thing. Because Zay Flowers is not he's going to be the number 1 wide receiver for the Ravens. But, yeah, man. Those are my top 5, y'all. And I'm going to say this about Kirk Cousins. This is no hate. I'm not hating. I'm just stating. Your QBR was 49.9. You're 23rd in the NFL. Your QBR, you're ranked 23rd, man. You can't be in my top 5 like that. You did throw for 4,547 yards, 29 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Your rushing yards, 47 rushing yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. But at the end of the day, you got to get it done when it counts the most and be more consistent back-to-back seasons. Maybe a second year with Kevin O'Connell, you would do more and you would step your game up. But those are my top 5, y'all. Let me know in the comments below what you think about my top 5. And let me know. Who's in your top 5? Who's in your top 5?
And as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for vibing with me. I really appreciate you. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you are a Minnesota Viking fan.
Yeah, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Definitely. I want to let y'all know one quick announcement. I'm going live after every single game this season, so tune in. Doesn't matter if we lose or win. We going in, baby. We going in. We are going to talk that talk. We're going to vibe. And one more thing. For all the people that are watching, if you got to the end of this video, I'm almost to 400 subscribers, man. I'm 40 subscribers away from 400, and I'm giving a giveaway. So the people that have been riding with me from the day one, people that have been riding with me, sticking with me for this journey that I'm taking with this YouTube channel, I got y'all. But have a wonderful day, y'all. And I'm out.